both to multiple games and multiple instances of said game, this being the Kingdom Hearts 2 attire and a specific world in that same game, the best one.
Oh, I popped off so hard when I saw the Timeless River skin, because like monochrome is one of my favorite Keyblades, and in general, I'm a huge fan of like 1930s era like rubber hose style cartoons.
Oh, it's good. It's real good.
Like, I have so much love for this particular skin. So seeing Deli open up finals of our Sora exhibition like that, it warms my heart.
Deli's trying to scrap out here. Now, Deli, a common player of mostly Hero and DDD, if I remember correctly. So seeing him just push Sora to the limit and push Mlarcin out of the stage just so quickly with that up B just shows how he's his own fundamentals in terms of a punish game. Because I guess he's used to lingering out there.
The previous characters that Deli plays, again, it makes sense. With DDD, you have one of the floatiest characters in all of Ultimate. And with Hero, when you remove his shenanigans from the core of his kit, he is a very methodical character with a disjoint that's very reliable. So, sort of sandwiching the two together into some Disney-themed hodgepodge makes a lot of sense why, Deli's also here in finals.
When Blizzard
also, holy crap, Blizzaga fires you forward, or upwards.
Yeah, Blizzaga is kind of showing its teeth a little bit. Being able to rise or throw out Blizzaga as a deterrent, since you don't need multiple shards in order to freeze, means it's a very great anti-edge guarding tool on top of just its own normal hitboxes. That's a pretty tall get-up attack.
That was a really important interaction, because that was Deli big chilling with down smash getting get-up attacked by Sora. So you can't just sit there with down smash and hope for the best. Also, looks like get-up attack isn't too bad from Sora, which is nice.
Yeah, having any sort of reach on get-up attack means that, on top of it being disjointed and already invincible, means that spacing around neutral get-up is that much harder, since having a good get-up attack is pretty clutch.
There's not as much end lag on that forward smash as I thought there was going to be. It takes a while to come out, but yeah, a lot of his moves just in general seem pretty safe, at least on the recovery frames end.
He super died, like not even close.
Yeah, no, that forward smash definitely sends you packing. Oh my. All right, Deli taking that game one.
While we do see so much of this character's tools, and he is very much in that what's the way you mentioned prior, the good stuff kind of style that Mythra and the Aegis are very similar in, where they don't have anything that is outlandish. They're just good stuff that's overtuned, and Sora seems to have that kind of design.
When you consider Pyra and Mythra, their buttons in the grand scheme of things aren't anything to especially write home about. It's the fact that Mythra has overwhelming speed and Pyra has overwhelming power. But the buttons themselves are, they're good.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the end of that conversation. With Sora here, it's like you're putting the good stuff's buttons on a character that has very particular movement. It's definitely not as blinding as the likes of Mythra or, say, like Falcon or Fox. But there's a very large difference, I feel, to the floatiness of this character because of the presence of his mid and close range tools that very much separates him from the likes of, say, like Steve or Ness or even Villager.
Yeah, he functioned mastering his own movement. Wow, that was tall. Mastering his own movement is going to be the trick in and of itself. It doesn't look like he has any specific double jump cancels, so you're going to be spending a lot of time in the air poking, exactly like both these players are. Rising aerials are going to be crazy, and these runoff tools and the up B as well, not closing out quite yet, and you can certainly recover from plenty. Also, check that. Sonic Blade may actually snap to ledge.
That recovery was just really good from Deli, I feel, because it seemed like the second Sonic Blade was into the stage, so you could sort of stuff how far you go, so it's not a set distance. Kind of like how spacey angles will ride the wall a little bit to adjust when they hit the ledge, so it's not as predictable. I like that a lot. It looks like side B in general is very much the breadwinner here when it comes to tools that this character has.
Yeah, while everything else is just good across the board, the Sonic Blade, that's the DLC. That's where $5.99.
Yeah. That one's looking good. I appreciate the effort we've seen from all the players in tonight's exhibition from using Thundaga to attempt edge guards, but it seems like that move does not hit below ledge, or if it does, you have to have like pinpoint accuracy to hit at the ledge.
Really like that rising up air. High recoveries are just eaten alive by this character, as well as any recoveries, basically, as long as you have your edge guarding and reactions down pat.
I just realized this character is going to absolutely ass blast Rob.
I'm here for it.
Because you could chase with side B and up B so high, so easily, and rise with his jump. Depending on how hard all of it hits, Snake might also have a problem with this character as well.
Yeah, you would really need to find the finishing hit, and depending on how that one does. I feel like we haven't even mentioned his air dodge yet, which Sora, as we're watching, an incredibly floaty character, which means that that incredible second jump and how floaty and tall it is. You also have to respect the quote-unquote third jump. That air dodge to ledge may be very strong.
I'm wondering if it's going to be as high a value for recovery or ledge mix-ups as it is for Ness and Lucas.
It may not be, but it is having a good air dodge, period, is pretty good. It's just pretty good across the board. Wow, really?
All right. So I don't know if it was from the DI or if it's just how that move sends. Up air going to manage to catch their Reynos right into game 3. Nice.
Yeah, 'cause that's a really wide arc on that up air too, and if you're rising with that, that can be very strong to catch more lingering characters, and even not, because you have to respect so much space vertically with things like up air and up B. You're kind of auto-conditioning just based on matchup knowledge on people not knowing when to air dodge. Fast fallers will be a different story if people are able to fast fall air dodge through all of that pressure. Characters like Fox and Wolf. But already we're seeing some interesting counterplay or some interesting setups that can be applied to multiple characters. I'm really interested to see.
Being the final game of the night, because as a reminder, this is single elimination. We don't get no reset in this finals.
No, not yet.
Things to consider are Sora's tools on other stages. It's looking like Hollow Bastion is definitely on that larger end. There's a ton of airspace. The base platform seems particularly wide, and that lone platform, although pretty big, it seems to be, forgive the measurement, it's looking like 4.5 Soras long. That's still pretty large, it seems. At least when you compare like the Town and City or Smashville platforms that are maybe like 2 to 3 Soras, if I'm head mathing right. This is looking like a big stage, and Sora doesn't seem to have that much of an issue killing on it. So stages like Battlefields or Yoshi's that bring you to that top blast zone quicker, or Smashville that's just in general smaller, those are going to be nightmarish to fight this character on.
Yeah, I'm really curious how he's going to interact with the stage, like the common biplat stages. If he already is very good on a stage with a lot of width, then a stage like Pokemon Stadium 2 may just be right at home for this character, especially given how close the side blast zones are to the stage's edge. That's all the better for Sora.
You know, while we're thinking out loud on the matter of stages, I'm thinking FD might be not necessarily bad, but not the best place for Sora, because it's sitting pretty low to the blast zone, at least in regards to like the origin point. The stage sits low, so by extension it's further from the top blast zone. It's not going to allow for a lot of situations like that where we just saw Deli get a kill. It's going to lend itself a lot to that airplay, but what comes up must go down, and it looks like even though there's not a lot of recovery frames on a lot of these combo starters for Sora, catching himself out of side B and lag might be a disaster if he doesn't have any safe passage.
Yeah, I think it'll depend on the character he's playing, whether FD is particularly good or not. Because if he's trying to land on you and you're trying to block some of his shenanigans, then Sora may have a pretty easy time with getting past that because of how good Sonic Blade is and coming down and landing. Because you'll be able to land on shield with a hitbox, then dip with the other two. Not to mention, we haven't really seen much down air. Like a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's a matter of all the players in tonight's exhibition being trepidatious with seeing how well they could recover, because even from a little mishap there previously on stream, like, it's brought us to our last stock situation in the final game. Down air, it's seeming like it's covering a lot of space, but players have been focusing very much on catching landings or just going for their combos and then trying their best to land safely. No one's been doing anything super daring yet, but I think that move is going to lend itself really well to controlling a lot of airspace very quickly, which it seems in short terms this character is looking really good with.
Oh man, Thunder pretty reliably sending into 1, 2, 3. Oh wow, Deli brave with that the Sonic Blade. Dash attack sending right through the Thundaga. Wow.
The last hit of Thundaga wins it for the night. Mlarcin is your first Sora exhibition winner, and
He was
I
wearing the
guess
shirt.